Alright, let's go through the data. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm just sharing with you guys what I've been doing for the past 3 weeks. And this is all pretty much ARV data. So for the last 2-3 weeks, I've been doing ARV sessions. I've done about 17 in total. Is that 17 count? Yep. So 17, and I've recorded the horses that I've chosen and the horses that resulted, dates and the tracks, track names and the meets, some calculations. So here we've got what horses I've bet on as far as these first 4 here, and the horses that the results were, and how many horses hit. I'll just go through quickly about through this data and the calculations and stuff, just so you can follow it. So yeah, basically 17 ARV sessions. I've recorded each date for the past 2-3 weeks. I've just been hammering it, hammer and tongs, just going for sessions, wanting to do sessions and seeing if they're going to be resulting. So here we've got the race numbers and the dates and the tracks. Here are the first 4 horses. So the 4 horses are chosen this way. Basically, we've got, I'll go through a session. I'll go through a session and I'll go through and label all my impressions for the different touches, textures, temperatures, so forth and so forth. When I get to the end of the session, I'll actually draw up a little table that says touch, text, temp, color, smell, hear, and snapshot. And with each, I've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it basically follows the session. So for each impression that I get in a session, I'll try and allocate it to a number, basically. And once I have the numbers there, I'll start calculating how many numbers I get, and it goes from the most that I have numbers for to the least I have numbers, and it's really only just 4 numbers. If I can't get it with 4 numbers, what can I get it with, you know? And at the end of the session, I'll wait for the results and I'll put the results through. But that's it, basically. So got the session, go through the session, allocate your numbers to each of the different topics, and go from there. So back to the spreadsheet. I've got the horse choices here. So the first choice was the one that I counted the most impressions on for the session. So, and second and third and fourth. And in this one, the most had come fourth, and the second most had come third. So just indicating on this side which ones did collect, which is okay, because the ones that did collect should be there. As we can see, you know, we've got numbers that I chose that didn't hit, like this one here. 4 was my least total for that session. It's in here somewhere, but it came first. So as far as making an assumption that if the impressions are there often, which means it must be coming first, as far as this data sort of says, not for me. Either I'm getting them wrong and I'm not giving enough credit to the 4th, but that's an assumption. You get what you're given, you use your brains, make mistakes, and you correct them. So here we had a really good day. We got first, second, and fourth. This one came in first, second, and fourth. If this 10 was a 2, be payday, yay! Look at this one here. If 10 was a 2, be payday, yay! Could have had trifecta. But that's the thing with charting this up. You can see these things happen. So obviously, I think maybe I get 10 convinced. I recognize 10 as the 2 impressions as 10. So I'm getting confused. That's something to look at. You would never think of doing that if I hadn't written this up, right? So for me, this is invaluable for me. It definitely shows that I need to look at some stuff. Hey, we've got none. That's fine too. It's all part of learning. My most came out the least. So race shows at least that the ones that I bet on, I collected on 21 of them, and I got 33%. So it's better than 0%. This column here, as far as what this percentage means that 40% of the races I got first place. That's not bad. I like that. The other races I don't really care, because they should have come first anyway, but obviously if they came first and then second, hey, that's awesome. But yeah, it's I asked for first, and majority of the time it gave me first, so thank you, universe. This column is here just for the calculations of hit rate. So as far as the horses bet, it's just how many horses I bet on, and the horses hit, which is these guys, and the hit rate, which is 50-50, 25-50, 75. Obviously fourth place doesn't place, but I do count it as part of the hit rate. Second, third, fourth. Who did I miss? I got 1 confused with 5, or 5 confused with 1. That's one of the reasons why we have these charts to tell us what's going on. So I'll tell you a little bit what's going on here. So we've got the hit rates going on there. Is that great? Is that bad? It's not even good or bad. It's just whatever it is. It's the learning journey, guys. It's what it is. Rates I'm mentally fatigued. Fatigue is real. It's hard to think. What does mentally fatigued mean for me? I feel scatterbrained. It's like lights are on, nobody's home. You're trying to sort of think complexly about stuff, or just try and think about basic stuff. It just falls on its face. It's like a massive effort to think of simple things, and you would just sort of slump back into this sort of numb state of mental fatigue. Really, it's exhausting. I put moon phases in here because I thought it might mean something, but right now there's not enough information to actually factor in moon phases. So when the database gets bigger, we'll factor it in, even if it may or may not mean anything. So these guys here, so this charts which numbers I actually chose the most and least of, and it puts the most at green and the least at red. So what we can see is I chose 5 12 times. Way too much. How many times did it actually come up? So that's where the second chart comes up. This is actually charting the horses that came through and resulted. I chose 5 12 times. He only showed up 4 times. Let me just put that back. So I chose him 12 times, 4 times. So obviously I like him way too much. He's become more of an influence in my sessions. I need to concentrate more when I know that it's 5, and make sure that not that I know it's 5, I need to remove these assumptions that it's 5 through my sessions. So you can easily lock on numbers. You have to mentally discipline yourself to sort of just take things as they come rather than assume and jump to conclusions. It's a mental discipline, and you need to learn how to do it anyway. So 5, way too much detections, way more than what it actually showed up. 8 times more, definitely. Look at these ones, First, second, and third came up 6, 15, 21 times, and I only ever picked them 3 times, and that was 3 times for number 2. So I totally missed out on these other numbers as well. So, not enough detection. That's my observation. But it just means that I'm not there. There's a long way to go, and just keep going at your skill level and get better. Not with the ARV, but with CRV or TDSRV, your normal foundation work of discovering impressions on things you don't know. Because this is front loading, obviously your thoughts and your conscious thoughts are going to get mixed up, and they're going to drive you to certain determinations, and that's the problem, right? So, but you can control front loading to a degree. So as far, what else are the biggies? 5, way too much to what it was. Not enough in the 1, 2s, and 3s. I think as far as photo number 1 and 2, I thought I had them down pat. Obviously not. 3, I have a difficulty with 3. I don't get many impressions for 3 right, and that's reflected in the data really. So I don't choose it. Therefore, why don't I choose? Because I don't recognize it better. So at least the data's there to tell me the obvious. Do I need to change photos? I don't think so. I just need to get to understand the photos better. And I think that's the ultimate goal, really. It's not about winning, but it's about identifying the right photos every time. That's it for me anyway. So definitely something to work on in these areas. Definitely something to work on for number 5. Number 6, the one big one for me was the new pick, number 17. I picked him out straight away. He was my horned guy. I picked him on the day, and I wondered if it was going to be him, and it was. And that's a really good thing to confirm and validate your picture impressions with your real picture. So you remember those first a lot, and so you'll be going back to him a lot. And it starts your adventure and learning the impressions for those pictures. And the last little table that I've got down here is it's races, in the context of races, the percentage of races with no winners. So basically it's just counting up the ones that had no horses pop up, so no winners at all, in any of the races that I did, and 35% it comes out to, which is it's all right. It's too early to tell. And races with winners from 1 to 4, 65%. Yay! I wish there were more 75%, but 50% is cool too. So after looking at this data, for me, it's about these impressions. It's about recording the data and seeing where things, where the stories are telling me to sort of visit as far as my impressions and the photos that I use. There's also the impressions and the visual library of the impressions of the numbers that I use going forward. So having this as number 14, it was 14 in this race, and this is the upside down picture of 14, which is the a temple in Bali, and it has the tree in the middle of this temple, and it just sort of the roots go over everything. So creating starting that library up, because there's really not much with just 17 races in there. I'm really excited to sort of build that library up, and started on the photo library or the photo database as well, and combining it with this, hopefully having the stories sort of help guide me through the remote viewing sort of challenges in this space, and hopefully get some more consistent wins under the belt. But identifying the pitches and the problems, that's the first step in doing all this sort of stuff for me anyway. But yeah, thanks guys for showing up. Yep, haven't been posting for a few weeks now, but as you see, I'm no slacker. I've been busy trying to win some money, and it's okay. It's if I had $1 before, I've got $4 now. That, it's not big things. It ain't thousands or not even hundreds really. Well, it's hundreds, but yeah, it hasn't really moved that far. And the betting strategies that I apply are not well. I spend way too much on the races that I don't win anything on, and the ones that I have a lot of races on, I don't win enough. There's that side of things, but that's a totally different thing, and that's not part of this remote viewing journey. That's just me being greedy, and just stick to the dollar bets. $1, one Quinella, one trifecta, dollar bets, and back your numbers. If I had no knowledge of these horses before the races started, and I still have no knowledge of the horses after the races started. There's no real consistency amongst the races. Gulfstream, is that Emirates, Australia, New Zealand, Ararat, all over the world. They really just presented an opportunity to exercise the mind and the process and see where I got. And 33% of races sort of hit. That's all right. Horses. 33% of horses hit between 1 and 4. That's not bad. I don't think that's bad. 47% of the horses that I choose hit first place. That's pretty cool. Each way bet on first place. That's one of my bets, and it collects pretty well. A lot of the horses. Some of the observations are when I go through these sessions, I found a lot of horses were favourites, and every now and again you'll have a long shot, and it's good hitting those long shots. They're like $20. I had one for $80, just for $1, $80. Place bet came out of nowhere, and I had him. And, just getting those sort of races where you just think every time you turn up your horse number, you're going up and you're placing your bet and you find out, it's the bloody favourite again. It's bloody favourite again. He's only paying like $1.50 or $2 or something like that. But when you go up and you have a look and you see the $80 or the $50 horse, man, just chuck a couple extra bucks on it, $2-3. $2-3, that's it. And, they come through. But yeah, just money's not the thing. So you try and keep the money out. The money side, I want the more. You kind of feel it. Takes a lot to fight it, but you can fight it. And it's just discipline, dollar. $1 for this, $1 for that, $1 each way, $1 for Quinella, $1 for trifecta. And sometimes they pay, so you don't need to spread your money everywhere, because that's the fastest way to losing it. Just baby steps, one step at a time, walking up a steep staircase. That's how I can sort of visualize it now, is, you've got enough, I've now developed, I've got so much per race that I want that covers certain types of bets. And I just need my horses, and boom, that betting pattern just goes in. It's only, $6, bang, bang, bang. And that's it. And when they come in, they collect, and it goes well. When they don't collect, it's just a little pocket of money that you allocated towards that sort of session, and you just wait for the next one, and boom, another one collects. Boom, another one collects. And it's just baby steps going up from that. So the money side, it doesn't really bother me too much anymore. That needs to sort of take care of itself. This needs to be sorted. In my mind anyway, is getting these pictures sorted, getting the impressions read better. So, and not to assume too much in the impressions that you get. Don't go, oh, this is that, this is this. Look for more detail, and that's where I am at the moment in my learning as well, is just learning to do more in the sessions to determine what makes each photo distinct. Like if it's a cold one, which cold one is it? How do we try and make it more distinct from each other? Those pics from each other. Anyway, so that's my data, guys. Yeah, it's a simple Excel spreadsheet. Some Excel ChatGPT. Use it. It's awesome. It helped me figure out all these column details and the selections and criteria and all that sort of stuff, and all the calculations and that sort of stuff. ChatGPT was awesome. Anyway, thanks guys for dropping by, and I'm on a break from RV at the moment. It's like the 10th, my last race. After the fatigue is real. You need a break. You're just on scatterbrain for a while. But anyway, with that said, have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.